Hey guys, Ken77 Stow 171 back with another ATS video. Today is the day we build our second truck. We got $173,000 in the bank. We have enough to build a truck and have enough left over that makes me feel comfortable. So we are going to do that. I already kind of went through figuring out what I wanted to build and seeing what the prices were going to be and make sure we could do it and everything was okay. And it was. So now we're going to do that together. And then I think we'll take it on a short load and we'll see whether it's better than this LT that we've been driving. It's been a fantastic truck. We'll see what things we like about the new truck, which things we don't like. I've driven this truck before, so I kind of know what to expect, but we'll see. I've never driven it with the stock engines that are available. I did a little research on ChatGPT to try to find the best engine and transmission combinations for power and efficiency, and it gave me some answers because there are some choices that seemingly contradict a little bit that you would think would be not the case, but we'll go into that as I build it. So we're going to go to Truck Manager, Truck Dealers. You guessed it. We're going to build a Kenworth. I'm going to visit the dealer. So this is an older T680. It's the previous generation. That we'll get to one of these two eventually. I promise. We're going to build a W900. I'd like to drive a day cab, but you can see how much bigger that is versus that. Love this truck. Got a bunch in my old profile. I've probably got 5 of these. It's super nice rig. But let's stay on the modern new stuff for right now, and we'll save this as a specialty truck because there are a ton of customizations and modifications that you can do with this truck, which really raise the price on it. So I want to get a little bit ahead financially before we take that on. So we are going to build the new style T680. I'm not sure when this came out, 2022 or 2020, something like that. We're going to do a customization. We're not going to trade in. We're going to buy it, and then we'll put our current LT truck in the garage and hire a driver. And so we'll also get that out of it. So we're going to go to custom configuration. There's 2 choices, day cab or sleeper. We're going to stick with the day cab for now. That seems to suit us quite well. On the chassis, we're already in the correct one. We want this one, the 6x4 MX optimized. That'll take you to a sleeper berth one, and these are both, that's a 4x2 with just 2 axles. So we don't want to do that. On the engine, we have all these extra mods in here. We're not going to do those. We're going to stick with the stock. Okay, so it says 2022. And this is where I talked to ChatGPT to try to find out what the best engine was. This engine, and these are real engine choices in this truck, by the way. Cummins X Series, X15, this is going to be X12. The other engine that would be super popular would be the PACCAR MX13. It's a great engine. However, my research shows that the Cummins X Series is actually more efficient. A little lower RPM, but a little more torque on this one, and apparently more efficient. I found that to be the case in my other profile. I picked an X15 efficiency model, and it was very efficient. But that was a mod. It was an X15 mod pack that I had. This is a stock engine in the stock game. So we'll see how this works. It'll suck if it sucks because we'll have to spend money to get a different engine. My temptation was to go with a PACCAR MX13 and a PACCAR TX12 transmission. But the research I did showed that actually the X12 and this pack, if you always want to watch these over here, you have a choice of an Eaton Ultra Shift. That would be okay too, but this PACCAR 12, see how the normal cargo went up? Everything went up, and it's pretty equal. Similar final drive ratio, and pretty similar low and high ratios, and 2 extra gears for spacing versus the 10. There is a 10-speed here, but if you notice, heavy cargo goes up and normal cargo goes down because this 342 ratio, and there aren't any other ratios. If I put in which I don't have in here, there's an Eaton Fuller pack, mod pack you can have. it would add about 200 transmissions that you could choose from. But for now, we're just sticking with stock, mostly unmodded game. We're going to do this. I've used this transmission. It works well. It's a good shifting trans. So we're going to do that. Color. They don't have I wanted white again, just to stick with my truck being white and the company trucks being yellow or something. But unfortunately, I don't think they don't have a white. We'd have to go custom color and spend an extra $2,000, and I don't really want to do that. Although we could. Let's see what the price comes up to, and whether we want to do that or not. We can change the color. We could also change the color at any other time. So let's start with that. Here comes the customizations on this truck, and there aren't as many. Let's start with the bumper. I don't really have any desire. I mean, wow, it's got a chrome strip. I don't really care. Don't need the banner. The bumper. Well, I looked through these. If you watch this one, it has this arrow thing that goes down. This more expensive one, it goes away. So we actually want that one. Because this is more aerodynamic. That's what you want. So I was kind of wanting one that was fully painted, but there isn't one. Bull bar, don't need that. Grill, I personally like the dark. On the headlights, we're going to go LED. On the hood, it's MX optimized. There are actually two different, once we can't do it right now, but on the sleeper, there are actually two different lengths where this hood gets longer and the front axle gets moved forward for different engines. That comes standard. This is a little turn signal thing right there. It's pretty cool. And then there's an aero package right there to fill in that space. Surprised there's not right here. Actually, it's right there. Modern aero, and it fills all of that in. Side skirts, we've already got the painted side skirts. Exhaust, we're just going to stick with the bottom. You could do classic. I don't know what that out the top there, but we're going to do that. It's a lot of money, and it doesn't really affect anything in the game, as far as I can see. On the step, aluminum, door handle, that's it. Wheels, we are going to stick with steel for now. Or we might do, yeah, let's do Kenworth black. Pick black caps. And for the little cover, we can do standard paint. Make it black. I think that looks pretty good. Tire, we are going to go with the Multi-Energy Z2. And do white stripes. One of the nice features of this truck is that it has digital mirror option. This is the minimum size mirror allowed by DOT, so it still has a physical mirror, but it also has digital mirrors on the inside, which we'll look at in a second here. There's a little painted arrow thing that goes right there. And then there are cabin lights, and you can put a bunch of lights up here, but we're not going to do that because cabin deflector makes all of those go away anyway. And then there's cabin deflectors on the side here. Basically, exactly what we did with the LT. I'm surprised there's not a rubber thing at the top there. Like, fill that space in. Seems like that would be better. Gas tank, aluminum, don't need chrome. Rear step, we're going to put some steps right there. We already have those. On the rear, there's two choices. I don't really see. I mean, for our use, there's no difference. There's the grab handles are different. There's one here. And on here, there's one here, one here, and one here. So let's maybe leave that like that is. You can put a cover plate there. There's some choices for chromed or standard. Honestly, I kind of prefer the dark. Although that's taller. Goes more to the ground. That might be a better choice. On the wheels, of course, we're going to do super singles. We could do... There's no wide Kenworth black. Those are good looking wheels. Farther down, there's another one that's a black wide. But because we're going to cover it with a aero cover, it doesn't really matter. We're just going to go steel wide. We'll go ahead and go black. And then what we're going to do is aero flow below, and we'll go black. Tire, we're going to do the grip. Do white walls. Here again, steel wide, black caps, flow below, tire, grip. And then on the back here, there's a choice of LED and aero, which puts the flow below aero package. Unfortunately, not color matched to the truck. There's a couple choices. You can go white or black on the... I think I'd prefer black. In real life, it would be a lot easier to keep clean, that's for sure. And that's all we can do on the outside. Not a huge amount of customizations, unfortunately, on the T680. But we do have a custom wheel on the front. It's Kenworth black, instead of steel, which would have been a little cheaper, but it's okay. On the interior, as you can see, we got digital mirrors, and you got physical mirrors, full digital instrumentation, and a nav screen, some physical gauges, and a bunch of physical switches. We have several different choices. We can do gray. Those two are the same. That's fine. That looks a little better. And then there's some customizations here that you can do. You can change the steering wheel to a few different ones if you want. Driver plate, console items, co-driver plate. You can pick gray. I'd say let's go with the gray. You can pick, carpets, floor mats, none of those matter. On the seats, though, I am going to go make it a little nicer with the Ultra seats. It's not too much difference in price, so, not a big deal. So there are not a lot of customizations in this truck. Oh, we can put a side mirror. Let's do that, though. Not a lot of customizations, sun visor you can do, but you got to take off the arrow thing. Hanging items, I'm not much into those. It's just more shit hanging in the way. Oddly, there's a CB hook, but no place to put a CB. It's kind of strange. And that's it. So that is our truck. We're at 150,000. Let's just see custom color white. That also looks pretty awesome with the white on black, kind of a stormtrooper look. Now we're at 151. We have enough money to do that. Maybe we ought to just keep it that way. Go white. The white on black kind of looks good. Oh, one other thing I forgot to change. This thing here, the chromed is actually cheaper, but I kind of prefer the onyx, the black, white on black. You can put mirrors here on the corners. Don't use them in the game. In real life, you would probably want them. They look like that. But in the game, they're not really that helpful, and they eat up some processor time because it's got to put in the mirror the image. So I don't think we missed anything. We already have the step. Chassis cover. Exhaust below. Okay. Think that's it, guys. Like I said, not too long to build one of these because there's not that many exterior options. That W900, it'd take you an hour. It'll take you an hour to build a truck, especially if you have a bunch of lights and mods that you have in your game. There's a huge amount of customization that you can do, which is super cool. But you just got to make sure you are aware it's going to take time. I don't know if it'll let us have horns. No, you can't have horns with the thing. So, which is ridiculous because you just put them behind there. All right, so there we go. We are built, and I can't decide if I like the orange more than I like the white. What do you guys think? There's this light blue too. There's no custom. Oh, there is. There's some other designs too, but like $23,000. It's ridiculous. Some of the prices are really high. What is it for custom color? 4,500. So any of these, there's Century Platinum Metallic. That's a good looking color too, actually. I have that in my main profile. Let's do that. I like that one actually. Let's look through them real quick and just see if there's anything else that's 4,500. I do like that one. This is a cool color too, though. It's red. It's a metallic red. That's pretty sharp too. Anthracite. I think I like that one. If we're going to spend the money for custom color, you might as well do a color that's kind of cool looking. All right, so we hit confirm and we hit purchase. Do you want to drive your new truck? Yes, I do. I want to put it in Dallas and put it here. We will take your old one to your garage in Dallas right away. Enjoy your new truck. Okay. Oh, so I guess maybe we get to drive it right from where we're at. This is new. I don't think they used to do this before. I don't remember him doing this animation when we bought the International. So, we're here. Now, there's a few things we need to adjust as per normal. We need to take a look at the seats, field of view. It's probably fine given the mirrors. Adjust mirrors. Wait, it's not turned on, so that's not going to help us. Hold on. Okay. Adjust mirrors. We really ought to have a trailer for this. We definitely want them down. We'll just leave it at that. The convex, same thing. Down and all the way out. Right, don't know. Other than down, until we get a trailer, we won't be able to adjust the outbound. With the convex, can go down and out. And then the side mirror. Wrong way. Move it that way a bit. You just want to see a little bit of edge of the truck right there. See, we might not need to have the map up. So now, let's check and see. I believe our truck is now in Dallas, unused. So, huh? Oh, no, that's the other one. That's this one. Nobody's driving it. Why don't we go take a single delivery? Or we could put a If we don't like the truck, obviously we're not going to sell it. We'll just put a driver in it. But why don't we go do some loads? Although it doesn't matter, actually. We could put a driver in it and then switch them to our truck. You can swap the driver. Okay, so then what we need to do is get a recruiting agency. We need to hire a driver. And let's try to find somebody that already has some ranking. There's only three available. He's got hazmat available. He's got 2 available. So we would want to pick him, hire the driver, put him there, and put him in that. And then immediately a better driver pops up. That happens every single frickin' time. She's got 3, skills already filled. That's what happens. Happens all the time. So, all right, we are now in this truck, and let us see what freight we can find. Let's go ahead and find something, preferably in here. I don't want to make it too long. Because we've already been at it 22 minutes. That's heavy as hell. I'd rather find something that's more box trailer. Shreveport. It's kind of long, but it pays pretty well. Let's see if there's anything else close. These are all heavy. There's another, see the barber pole? That tells you that it's a escorted load, which we don't want to really do. Yeah. That's reasonably short, and it's a tanker. So it'll be reasonably... Let's do that. It's not too long. Should be main highway, too, I think. At least from here to here.
Let's do this.
All right. And there's some cool screens on the dash there that you can do. Actually might want to come forward a little bit. No. You think forward, backwards, left, right, You still see a little edge of this, and you got your digital mirror, so you don't have to look to the left too much. Field of view is okay. Let's try that. And let's move the steering wheel up and out of the way a little bit. So you can see everything. Okay. So on the trip info, there's a bunch of different screens you can do. And leave it blank. I like that one because it's got pretty much everything on it. So, all right. Turn off the engine brake. We don't need it. So we're going 11 miles. To the pickup spot.
Turn right.
This engine's a little quieter, oddly, so I need to turn up my volume.
Go straight on. Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
So this is going to end up being a little bit longer video. But I hate
Go straight on.
I hate building a truck and then waiting for another video to drive it. I want to drive it right away. It's like when you buy a new car. Like, you're not going to say, hey, I'll drive it for the first time tomorrow. Nobody does that. You're going to drive it right now. So lower right there, that first small gauge, lower left, over there. So that there's this pod of 6 gauges. The one on the lower left is your boost gauge. But there's also a torque gauge on the dash, which is kind of, and they're not exactly the same thing. The windscreen is a little taller, I think.
Keep right. Keep right, and then continue straight on. Go straight on. Get ready to turn left. Turn left. Keep right, and then turn right.
Okay. The one thing is that nav screen is a little small.
Turn right.
One thing I'm noticing is it's starting off in like 3rd gear instead of 4th bobtail.
Get ready to turn left.
So we'll see what it does fully with the loaded trailer. You know, if it's starting off in 1st gear, we may find that
turn left, and then continue straight on.
That International did a better job of handling heavy loads.
It's all over now.
All right, that's the one we're doing. It's 39,000 pounds, so it's reasonably heavy. So we will take the job.
Time to hit the road.
Where is it? It's right there. It's on. Okay,
It was a nice ride.
What the hell? Usually she says that at the end. The trailer's right there. These tanks are pretty long, so you have to be a little careful pulling them. The trailer wheels are all the way at the back, and it's easy to forget that they're reasonably long. Yeah, those mirrors are out too far. Look how far off we are.
When possible, make a U-turn.
Okay, now what we need to do is adjust those mirrors. Interesting that they need to come in so far. We've noticed that on a few other trucks, though. It used to be the other way around, that they'd be way in, you had to move them outbound. But it seems like more lately the mirrors are too far out. Okay, there we go. You almost don't need that other UI mirror up there, because your digital is like right there. Let's reset our fuel economy. We got full tanks, and yeah, and it's starting off in first gear. Maybe it just defaults to that. I don't know.
Turn right.
Oh, sorry guys, I gotta readjust myself a little bit. Okay.
Get ready to turn left. Turn left. Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
One nice thing is that it does remember your fleet configuration. So, like, the international truck that we bought,
Keep right, and then continue straight on. Go straight on.
okay, upshift.
Keep right, and then continue straight on. Go straight on. Go straight on.
Hmm. Really interesting that it's starting in first gear with a 40,000-pound load. The International LT was starting in second gear even with the 100,000-pound load on it. It does seem like it starts off a little smoother. I don't remember what the gear ratio was. I think they're similar. 264. I got a feeling we're going to find that the International LT is more efficient and more powerful. The truck is certainly nicer.
Keep left,
The interior
and
is
then turn
nicer.
left.
I like the digital mirrors. I actually like the little mirrors too.
Turn left.
It's revving a lot higher.
Keep left.
Seems less powerful too. Even though the power and torque numbers are basically the same. Alright, there's our top ratio. Maybe the gear ratio is taller than the other truck. It's got 2 fewer gears. The other transmission has got a 14. It's a 14 speed. This is a 12, so it suffers a little bit there. It also might explain why it has to start off in first. Maybe in that, maybe in the T14 transmission in the International truck, maybe those first 2 lower gears are kind of low. We'll see. We're still not up to 75 miles an hour. It'd be hilarious if one of the cheaper trucks in the game is actually the one you prefer. Which could be the case. Instant fuel economy is right there in the middle. It's right next to the speed and tack. I do like the gauge cluster there with the big digital digital speedometer and the analog tack that sweeps across it. That's a nice setup. They utilize most of the space of the digital display, unlike the Cascadia, and all of it's legible at distance. If you're going to do a digital display, this is how you do it. Don't put a bunch of empty space and lettering that's so small that you can't fucking read it. Come on, dude. Get the fuck out of the way. There you go. It's a good looking truck, that's for sure. Definitely seems less powerful to me. It's taking a lot longer for it to get back up to 75. Oh my god, what the fucking people... Let's slow down to 30 and then exit.
Keep left.
Oh boy. Well. I think we're going to find that this truck is less efficient. Engine's a little quieter, I think, than the other engine. It's a little less drony sounding, rumbly sounding. Turbo's a little bit higher pitch and a little louder. Yeah, the AI ChatGPT said that the MX-13 is a little bit less efficient than the Packard MX-13 is a little bit less efficient than the Cummins X12.
Keep left.
I wonder what the difference is between the X12 and the X15. I think we need the left lane. I think we're running across 30 the whole way.
Keep left.
Yeah. Definitely likes to rev more.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Oh, shit.
Turn right. Keep right.
It's pretty efficient. We're at 7.4 miles per gallon. That's not terrible. But it's not any better. We gotta exit. We're doing a lot of exiting
Right.
and a lot of
then
exiting
exit
and
right.
speeding up and slowing down in this route too. So we'll need to take it on a few other trips
Exit right.
to be sure. But my preliminary feel is that I like the interior of this truck much more in many ways. but I also really like the simplicity of the LT. Biggest thing I really don't like on the LT is the mirrors, and that this truck solves that. Also, there are some bigger engines available for this truck that we could try. And as we build our trucking company and you get wealthier, fuel economy becomes less of an issue. Sorry, guys. So what you want to do is kind of look, once you get up to the speed limit, once you get up to 75, you want to be looking at that instant fuel economy. When you're straight, level, moving at speed, what does that instant fuel economy show you? And that'll be what your average moves to as more miles accumulate. Right now we're still accelerating, so that's not a fair comparison. And we're going slightly uphill. We're still struggling to get up to 75. And we're going to have to fucking stop for the way station, probably. No, we don't have to. It just definitely does not accelerate as well as the LT truck. We're not that heavy. It's a tank, which is not unaerodynamic. And there are 4 axles on that trailer. It's like, is that really necessary? Just seems to struggle to get up to 75, which would never have been the case with the other truck. And the RPM is higher. We're 1200 RPM at 75. Wish there was a digital mirror option on the LT. If I could have that truck with these mirrors, that'd be great. Means I don't have to look as left and right as much, because the one mirror is like right there in front of you and the other one is like right there, so you can almost see both simultaneously, which is just really helpful. We're gonna get to dusk here. Oh. One thing about this truck, too, that I know, at least in the previous experience with it, is the headlights are really great. So is the LT, though. They're both excellent. So I think the next truck we'll drive would be a Cascadia. You know, those are the 3 modern trucks that are like current generation modern trucks. It'll have a Detroit, a DD15 or 13 or 4, something. Some Detroit diesel will be in the Cascadia. I do not like its digital dash, so I might even stay with a lower trim on the dash and see what the more simple dash looks like. Might be the better choice. Boy, it is difficult to see right now with that. It's starting to get dusk. The sky is still bright. Well, we're up to 7.3 on the fuel economy. That's not bad. Not as good as the other truck, and it's slower. So... we'll do some loads with it and see how it does. Try something heavy. See how it performs. This will be the last video I do tonight, though. The guys might... starting to get a little uncomfortable sitting here. Why is the semi in the left lane? There you go, buddy. In a worst case, we give the truck to the employee driver and go back to the other truck until we save up enough money to buy a Cascadia and try that out. I got a feeling we're going to find that the International LT ends up being kind of the winner of the game. It's kind of the reason I kind of knew that, kind of suspected it, but
Keep left.
mostly I had driven those trucks with non-factory engines, so it was kind of hard to be sure. We're approaching 8 miles per gallon. It's really not bad at all. To get on the ChatGPT and
Keep left.
have it do a comparison and tell it, you know, hey, I drove this truck and that truck. This was what I discovered. You know, what information do you have about that? Be interesting to see what it says.
Keep left.
The other option might be to change the transmission in this truck to an 18-speed, give it more gears. Unfortunately, I don't think... I'll have to go back and look, but I don't think there was a choice on the 18-speed with a taller differential ratio, which would make it even less efficient at highway speeds and more powerful for heavy cargo, but...
Keep left.
We're basically coasting right here, so the fuel economy is starting to go up. Oh boy. We need to get over. One nice thing that these digital mirrors do is at night they compensate a bit for the dark and are bright. See, the physical mirror is darker than the digital mirror because it has some
Keep right.
ability
and then
to
exit right.
see in the dark better. I do think the headlights are better than the LT also.
Exit right.
So some combination of I wonder if the fog lights
Get
actually
ready
do
to
anything.
turn left.
When we get stopped up here, I'll take a look at the outside view and see.
Turn left.
No, there are no fog lights down there. Even though I thought... Yeah, there's no listed here, but the bumper's supposed to have fog lights in it. think it might shift a little smoother.
Keep left and then turn left. Turn left.
You know, one thing with that LT truck, the S13 engine that's in there, it's an extremely efficient engine. It's very high compression. More like old school diesel. 22 to 1, something like that. So it's very efficient.
Get ready to turn left.
Bruce Wilson had a nice interview with the guys from International.
Turn left.
Talking about the development of that engine and transmission.
We are finished.
We are finished. So we're at 7.8 miles per gallon. Interesting. They won't let us do a... It's also interesting that this is like a truck stop. Now, we're unloading the fuel. Speak of the devil, let's just get fuel. Because we need to turn around and go the other direction anyway. Well, the engine has to rotate a few times before it lights. Do you guys notice that? And then it goes. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, we're actually unloading the fuel at the gas station. That's kind of interesting. I don't think we've ever done a delivery like that. Alright, guys, that'll be it. What was our final fuel efficiency? 7.8. Yeah. So watch, Chaz. Well, just takes a while. Let's unload her. Should take us to the next level, and it does. So we get to pick. And let's do the last hazmat, and then we'll start filling these in. And then once we do that, then we'll do the distance. Let's see what the new upgrades are. Aero covers, some paint jobs, some 260-gallon fuel tanks for the T680. I bet those won't fit on this truck, but they might. And some trailer stuff, some additions. So, all right, guys, that'll be it for this video. And long one, almost an hour, right at an hour just now. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. We got to do a few different things. We got to build our new truck and try it out. Overall, efficiency seems worse than the LT. I think the truck's a little longer than the LT too. Not could be totally wrong about that. Really good looking rig though. I gotta say, for the new trucks that are out there, it's a good looking truck. I do like it. Seen a couple in person. They do look really sharp. The Cascadia looks good too, but the T680 looks better. It's got a really nice interior. I like the combination of digital and physical mirrors. That's probably the biggest upgrade over the International LT. Is the mirrors, and the interior is nicer. I actually like the dash cluster still a little better on the LT. I think it's still a little bit more legible. but the mirrors make this truck much easier to drive in the game, just because of the position of the digital mirrors. But we'll see. We'll go from there, and next truck, I don't know. We'll get some more money together eventually, and we'll probably try a Cascadia, see what that's like, and do a W9. We'll go through them all as we build them, and then we can either sell them, trade them in, give them to drivers. That's the best thing to do. Probably just give them to drivers. But because you lose about half the value when you trade it in for a different truck, that doesn't make as much sense. You already paid for it, just better off to use it. Okay, guys, that'll be it. Have a good one. Be safe out there.